Let's bring in our panel because we want to talk some Tesla here. Ross Gerber, President, CEO, Gerber Kawasaki Wealth and Investment Management. Joseph Osha, Managing Director, Equity Research Analyst at JMP Securities. Thank you both for being here with us. Ross, I'll begin with you. You've been a screaming bull on Tesla in years past. You've seen it come to fruition. Now what?
Well, I mean, what else could happen good, right? I mean, you got the S&P inclusion, you've got, everything hitting on all cylinders for Tesla from a sales perspective. China is continuing to ramp successfully, factories being built all over the world. They've invented a new battery, and now they're releasing full self-driving by the end of the year to a large portion of the fleet, which I think is a game changer from a technology perspective. So really, the stock market's finally realized what a great company Tesla is and what a great position they're in. And then we still think there's no competition coming anytime soon.
New highs again, by the way, folks. Yeah. So, Joe, tell me, you have a 516 price target. You may have changed it since this report, but I see an outperform reading, 516 price target. Does that feel about right, Joe, or do you think you're going to have to reevaluate again?
Well, I'm always reevaluating. I'll admit I was a little surprised at how quickly we got to $516. What I'm trying to understand is how much of this market Tesla can actually get. Ross makes a good point. At the moment, you look around at what's happening competitively, and gosh, it's hard to see who's going to catch Tesla, certainly not any of the U.S. automotive OEMs. So what I need to continue to do is to look and say, hey, okay, I've got this company making 2.5 million units and selling them in 2025. Is that number 3 million? Is it 3.2? What should I pay for that? And as I do that, I'll continue to think about what the stock is worth. My published price target is $516 at the moment, though. That's correct.
Right. And I know, as you said, you're always constantly evaluating this.
Sure.
And Ross, I mean, I know it's not a surprise to you that we finally get the inclusion into the S&P 500 at the end of December on the 21st, I believe it is, after 4 positive quarters. So the question that some people also have is maybe we're not looking at Tesla right and not valuating it right. For the services, for the batteries, Ross, what else do you think really boosts the value? Because right now we saw a high of 525, new highs again. Where do you think it could be headed and why?
So Elon kind of said this in the last call. I think he mentioned that Tesla is really like a bunch of startups in one, all working simultaneously but together. And when you break apart the parts of Tesla, like, for example, if you just look at the supercharger network, let's say you owned every gas station in America and you're the car company. There's never been a car company to own all its gas stations, and Tesla does. So the supercharger network's value, I don't know how to value it, but I think it's worth billions. This is an amazing moat for the company. Solar, for example, is being mandated here in California on new homes, and solar is a wonderful solution for climate. Tesla has a not that successful solar business that can become much more successful. What do we value that? The battery business, the battery technology that they've just developed is worth, in my mind, tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars of value. They've reinvented the battery. Most people still have not fully absorbed what's going on here. So I don't know if you can properly value Tesla. It's somewhat arbitrary because the values are so high. And that, I think, is the challenge now that the stock is up in a very high price, is how do we put all those pieces together and what's that worth? But, boy, Tesla's getting a premium valuation now, and I think it's well-deserved.
Okay, so the takeaway question would be and there's no doubt there's so much value within all of those things you just mentioned, but the takeaway is, what is the valuation? What should it be? Because right now it's 525, 522. do you think it has upside potential? Ross, quickly, because I have another question for you.
Well, this is way past my price valuation and has been for a while, and it keeps going higher. So, we haven't per se been buyers of Tesla stock, but we stopped selling the stock months ago once we got back to a more targeted allocation, and we're going to ride it.
Joe, I want you to answer the same question because I know you know a lot about all different things Tesla. It's not just the electric vehicle itself, but you also within your note talk about what's plausible for the production of these vehicles, the demand for the vehicles going forward in Shanghai in particular, where I'm hearing 25% of the vehicles are going to be electric vehicles. We look at Li Auto, we look at NIO, we look at Workhorse.
Right.
Put Nicole in there. I don't know. I mean, you expand our minds here. What could we be looking at?
Expand our minds. I do think it's important to look at how we should value the core business. What we've seen some people do is say, okay, well, we're going to start from the standpoint and say, well, a traditional car business can't be worth that much, so we're going to go hunting for value in the charging network or solar or whatnot. And I think the way to think about it is perhaps a little different. Tesla may be a car company, but they're a rapidly growing car company that is in the process of completely remaking the business. They've created an ecosystem around that business, with the chargers, with autonomous driving and so forth, that make them worth a whole lot more than a regular car company. So what I've been saying is value it like a category killer. Look at what the market's paying for Apple, right? 6 odd times revenue, and think about what Tesla could look like, in a couple of years when they're at that scale. So I think that's a better way to come at it than saying, okay, the regular car businesses should be valued on a low multiple, and let's just start bolting pieces onto it. This company is completely remaking what the automotive business looks like, and so the core business should be valued accordingly. I think a lot higher than other car companies.
And we have Tesla and Blink, by the way. We were talking about Blink today, Blink charging. All right, so Tesla's up over 500% this year. Unbelievable. I mean, people would take, right? And then you have Blink, which is up 1,600%. Ross Gerber and Joe Osha, thank you both so very much. I really appreciate it. Great to see you both. Ross and Joe, thank you.